Terran.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Neck. We are headed into some live tournament action right now on MLG Shakuras Plateau between Oneshot and Mass, Master vs. Master, Terran vs. Zerg, and we are in the semifinals right now of this month's Let It Ride, or not Let It Ride. How about the Alt July tournament? It is our monthly tournament. $250 prize pool on the line here. These guys are already in the money, and I do have Alt Denial on the phone with me, our resident pro. Denial, how are you doing today, buddy?
I am doing great.
Me too, let me tell you. I am super excited for this matchup. Oneshot, a phenomenal Terran player. Mass, a wonderful Zerg player, and he is part of a team that has got some sponsors, so he's kind of a semi-pro, I guess, if you will. And he plays with Evereyes quite a bit, who is playing in MLG at this moment, as well as some other extremely good players. He's got some wonderful practice partners, and just a lot of action from this guy in the ladder. So really, really good player we found in Mass. Really glad to be having him here. And Oneshot as well, who we have seen before. He has won several of our tournaments already, so he's hanging out with Alt StarCraft on a regular basis. Pleased to have that guy around. So going into this match, Denial, what are you wanting to see here, buddy?
I have to be honest, I'm kind of biased towards Zerg.
And I am kind of biased towards Terran, so that is going to be okay.
Well, at least I know where you stand.
Yeah, I just gotta stick it in there, poke you in the ribs as much as I can, right?
You like to cause pain.
What can I say? Fun stuff, but Oneshot going to be scouting over here directly, is going to scout Fast Expand here from Mass. So now, is this what you're expecting to see from your Zerg player?
I was expecting a Fast Expand, that was a 14 hatch, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
I was expecting more of a 15, maybe 16 hatch, because it's a good distance between the two bases.
Uh-huh.
So it gives him enough time to be a little greedy with the minerals and throw down a hatch just a little bit later.
Gotcha. And we do have Oneshot going to be going for a pretty standard wall off here.
Stealing minerals.
Yeah, stealing minerals. Thief. But is also got, let's see if he does not have another barracks on the ground yet. So I was wondering, it looks like he's not going to be going for some 2 barracks pressure. A lot of the times you'll see when a Zerg player goes Fast Expand, that the Terran player will try and put some early pressure on him, potentially with like a bunker rush or something like that. But it doesn't appear that Oneshot's going to be doing that. Looks like he's just going to be playing his game safely and just kind of macroing up here.
Actually, I think he might be doing exactly that.
Some Hellion harass, that's pretty standard, huh?
Oh, no, he stopped his Marines there. I stand corrected.
Looks like he's going to be going for some reactored Hellions here. Not the Blue Flame. I'm guessing that he's just going to do 4 Hellions and then transition into tanks, is my guess at this point. Since he's putting that reactor down on the barracks. What are you thinking?
Fast Hellions.
Fast Hellions. So from our Zerg player, though, from Mass, what do you see here that you like? Besides the Roach Warren, I bet that'll make you happy.
Actually, to be completely honest with you, I'm not huge on Roaches against Terran.
Is that right? What kind of unit composition do you prefer?
I prefer Ling Bling and Infester.
Gotcha. Yeah,
nothing like holding them in place while your Banelings roll into them.
Yeah, that always gives you a good feeling. Nothing like roasted Marines in the morning, right?
I think they're liquefied.
Acid-covered Marines in the morning.
That works. A new type of cereal.
Yeah, there you go. Good breakfast stuff. So let's take a look here at Units tab for just a moment. 21 to 21 in the Harvester count. Oneshot does have his Expand here on the way. Looks like it will be finished here fairly shortly. And other than that, though, he's macroing up pretty solid. Queen's on the field already, so just 2. Of course, that is to be expected at 6 minutes into the game. And Roaches, it looks like he's going to be setting these Roaches up for defense, not going to be trying to get aggressive with these Roaches. Do you think this is a good play?
Actually, if you're going to use Roaches against Terran, that's exactly what I would use them for. The Roach's armor comes in handy for Hellions, and it comes in handy for Marines. So the choice that he made in this game was a good one.
Yeah.
Had he been coming at him with Marauders and Marines, I would have focused more on Banelings and Zerglings.
Gotcha. And he did get the snipe on 2 of those 4 Hellions, so really nice control there by Mass.
The other nice thing about this map too is at his expansion, they've got a very narrow entrance to it, so it's easy to defend against stuff like that.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I like the way this map's set up. This is an extremely popular map for a lot of different reasons. And ever since the changes that they made to it, MLG started picking it up. This obviously being the MLG version of the map. But some people still complain that it's imbalanced for Zerg. Do you believe that this map is imbalanced?
As in Zerg's favor?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Okay. Of course, that's coming from a Zerg player, right?
Well, actually, I've been actually reading up on this map a little bit just a couple days ago. This map is actually in favor of Protoss if it's in favor of any.
Interesting. That's
main
partially
reason
because
being
of the chokes, huh?
There's a lot of choke points, especially going into your main 2 bases. If the Protoss decides to expand, they can easily expand. If I can get this to work in this area here and easily close off those choke points.
Right.
So just defending their bases becomes a whole lot easier, especially against Zerg once you have they have Colossi, or with the Terran it's just about blocking off their base, because everybody knows Zerg is bad in choke points. They need room.
Right. True that, brother. What do we got here? Hellion cruising out across the map. These guys looks like they may scout this expand up here from Mass, or down here, I guess. It is in the bottom corner. Are they going to cruise up here on the high ground? Maybe not.
I don't think so. You usually don't expect to see a Zerg build an expansion that far away from your base.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of interesting timing there. And Oneshot just going to be sitting there with his Hellions expecting a drone to show up just about any time, I'm guessing, but not going to find one. The drone has already passed.
That Ling was strong. It took 2 blasts and survived.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. Of course, these Hellions do not have any upgrades, so that is part of the deal there.
I think once he saw the roaches, he figured there's no point in investing in them.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There, he did scout that. So let's check his vision. Yep, he indeed did scout that, so nicely done. Oh my goodness, watch the vision of Mass for a second. Oh, look what he does, man. He's all over the place. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty cool, man.
The whole hatchery switching thing, I actually changed the buttons inside my what do you call it? The macro buttons.
Uh-huh.
So that when I hit the caps lock button, since I didn't see it being used for anything, I automatically switch between my hatcheries. So when I'm going to spawn the larva with my queens, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're done.
Right.
I recommend that for any player.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. We do have some serious movement here from Oneshot. A big push. Now, Mass was telling me yesterday that he was feeling pretty confident in this matchup. He says, I know Oneshot really favors his big pushes. You know, and he was saying that he wants to be ready for those pushes and is going to be able to defend them. But these pushes from Oneshot are pretty well planned out, man. They can be pretty brutal stuff. Oneshot cleaning up pretty stinking good here, man. Mass is about to be in a lot of trouble, buddy.
He needs to pull those Marines back.
Yep, kiting them back, doing exactly what he needs to do. Oh, wow. Those Banelings did get into position there.
But he still has 3 tanks down there. The medevac's giving him sight above on the high ground.
Yep. This is brutal position for Mass. You can see him falling severely behind in the supply count, so he is not happy at this point. He is going to be massing up an army here in the back of his natural, trying to get prepared to bust out of this kind of contain that he is stuck in at this moment. But Oneshot is streaming units across the map, going to be committing to this, leapfrogging some siege tanks forward here just a little bit at a time. The Baneling Nest about to go down. That is going to stop Baneling production. Interesting stuff. So I'm saying Oneshot looking pretty solid here to take this win down. What do you think, man?
I would say not to overlook Mask yet. He still has a decent economy going in both his natural, his main, and now in the third. He could do something.
Yeah.
Speaking of third, looked like Oneshot made a drop down there.
He did. He put his third down in a forward position. I like his positioning there. Wow. Really nice micro here by both players. Mass doing a lot of work with his Mutalisks, trying to keep those suckers alive. Looks like he's doing a pretty decent job, but he is going to... Oh, down they go, and that is the GG from Mass. Unbelievable game. So Oneshot taking game number 1. Now, going into game 2, we are going to have... I mean, the pressure is on a little, but not as bad. It is best of 5 in this matchup, so... We've got a little bit of work to do yet, so Mass going to want to try and take his win down in this next game. Any last words? Alt denial?
Why alt tab?
Haha, when you can alt StarCraft. We will see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We have got live tournament action coming at you right now on Scrap Station of all maps. This is a loser pick scenario, and Mass did lose game number 1 in this best of 5 matchup between him and Oneshot. So he wants to play on Scrap Station, and Alt Denial here with me. And right before we got into this game, he says, "Ha ha ha! Imagine that, a Zerg player wanting to play on Scrap Station." So, what are you thinking? Yeah, go ahead.
I said, or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. But
yeah. I just thought it was funny because what I've seen from Mass, he does favor his Mutalisks anyway.
Uh-huh.
And on a close air map like this one, where you have to go a pretty long distance to actually walk to your opponent's base, he's gonna have the advantage here.
Yeah. Yep, could be very interesting. Now, we have seen Oneshot's muted defense be extremely good before. And I'm interested to see if Mass is going to switch up his gameplay. I think that you're probably right. So I'm guessing that he is going to go Mutalisk just because of that close air position. But I just don't know. I mean, I'm thinking metagame wise here. Don't you think that Oneshot is going to be expecting that and kind of have to be prepared?
Yes, or you can look at the flip side, and Oneshot, we might see a Banshee Rush.
Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Close air positions could be very interesting to see. I like this map though. They took Scrap Station out of the rotation in Season 3, did they not?
I believe so.
Yeah. And then they've got that new map, Antigua Station, right?
Yes.
And it is a 4-player map, or at least it's a 2-player map, but it's got 4 spawn positions, right? So, and people are calling that the new Scrap Station, but I don't know. I mean, this map I think is still pretty good. That's why we left it in the what do you call it?
I have seen some of the best games ever on this map.
Yeah, me too. I like it. And even playing as Protoss against Zerg on this map, which can be difficult because it's such a large ramp to block off, to wall off against a Zerg opponent. There's still some really nice things that you can do, like the close air position can be utilized for, some fast void ray rushes and things like that. And so it's when it comes down to it, the map is fairly balanced in a lot of ways. I know people complain about some of the intricate matters, but yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's always going to be that way with any map, though. You know what I mean?
I do. It does not bother me in the slightest.
Yeah. Oneshot working desperately to get this wall off done. Ooh, is that tight? Did that factory touch there? I can't tell. Looks like it is, doesn't it?
That's closed.
Yep. Not bad. Looks like he'll be just fine. But the spawning pool definitely going down first. We are taking the hatchery just slightly later here for a Mass. No, what does that mean to you? I mean, you're the Zerg player, so tell me what you're thinking here from this gameplay so far. He's got the metabolic speed boost on the way. I mean, what kind of strategy is he going into at this point?
The way I see it, he's either going to go quick roaches again for defense or in the banelings. Usually when a Zerg player goes extractor spawning pool, they're just worried about defense. So he might actually be worried about something coming.
Gotcha.
Gonna switch his barracks and his factory now.
Mm-hmm. Reactored factory yet again. He really likes his early Hellion harass.
Well, why not? He's going against a Zerg player who everything is bio.
Yep. All light armor early in the game, huh?
That's right.
So good stuff. Mass, though, doing a great job with his map control. I mean, just take a look at where he is sitting around this map. We do have 2 Hellions out on the field right now, sitting on the ramp. Are they going to catch wind of these guys? Yes, they are.
Nice kiting back to the
one of them
base.
getting sniped. 2 of them getting sniped. That Marine pretty happy. He picked up 3 kills there. Here comes 2 more Hellions.
And more Zerglings.
Yeah. Wow. Units lost is going to show that Oneshot falling slightly behind in these matchups, so Mass doing a phenomenal job with these Zerglings.
Zerglings come in handy.
Yeah, man. We do have another barracks and a starport going down right now for Oneshot as well. So, I mean, off this, I'm kind of half expecting to see some drops here because of that close air position. And since he is continuing to produce these Hellions, I'm guessing maybe he's going to do some Hellion drops for us. That could be pretty fun to see.
Well, especially at the same time, if you look back at Mass's base, he's not keeping his army out there. He's trying to keep pressure on Oneshot.
Yeah.
So a Oneshot can easily sneak in behind and do some damage.
Yep. Too bad he can't chrono boost out his medevacs. That's what always bothers me.
You can't have it both ways.
I know. I honestly, I would switch to Terran if I could keep chrono boost.
But you got the reactor, so you can make 2 at once.
That's true. That's true.
Technically, it's faster than chrono boost.
Yep, you're correct. Cuts it down in half, doesn't it? Pretty solid stuff. There goes the expand from Oneshot. It is 8 minutes into the game, so he was trying to hold off that aggression there first before he took it. So I'd say nice, safe play there. And he held it off in pretty decent style, but units lost does show that he lost 500 resources worth of units there. So pretty solid play there by Mass. Very aggressive, right?
Right.
As what's his name said, KGB, right? KGB, very aggressive.
And here's what I said earlier. Here comes the Spire and the Baneling's Nest.
Ah, very, very good. Where'd the Spire go down? Is it at his expansion? Yes, it is. Yeah, this is going to be great play. So it looks like he is going to be committing to some Muta harass, followed up with some Baneling bust potentially at the front door. What do you think?
That's exactly what's going to happen. Either that, or he's going to go after. I see Oneshot. I don't see him coming out with much bigger of a bio ball than this. But you take out all the Marines with the Banelings, and your Mutas can literally just clean up everything else.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Mass is getting a substantial army together, it looks like. And I like what Oneshot's doing here, taking out these destructible rocks. This is going to shorten the distance that he will have to travel to get to his opponent's base. This is, however, being spotted by Mass with this Overlord. So, nice play by both players. Good job on scouting for Mass, and great, I think, strategy here for Oneshot. Here come the Mutas. Okay, Oneshot is definitely going to have to react quickly. However, he does have plenty of missile turrets here, it looks like. And here come the Marines. Ooh, taking out that tech lab. Pretty nice defense there by Oneshot, but I mean, Mass did a decent amount of damage there. Taking out that tech lab is pretty costly loss for Oneshot when he only has that one factory. He's got to stay on top of his tank production. So I mean, that's a puts him behind slightly, I'd say. What do you think, man?
I would agree. And we can see Mass getting an infestation pit, spreading his creep. working on level 1 carapace and the centrifugal hooks for his banelings. So everything's about to get beefed up and move a little bit faster.
Yep. Here come the mutas yet again. I like how Oneshot has got Marines all over the map for defense here. This is really nice play. Yeah, these mutas are just—they're not. I mean, they were fairly effective, but it is going to be more and more difficult for Mass to make something happen with these mutas. Just Oneshot has really got his play down to where he's pretty good at defending against those critters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I think we've seen him stop producing the Mutalisks. I think he's focusing on infestors now.
Yep. And then the Banelings and Zerglings, which we can see here, he has got an extreme amount of those units. Nicely done. Leapfrogging forward. Looks like Oneshot doing the same thing that we've really come to expect from him. Slowly pushing this attack, spreading his units out very, very well. Oneshot slightly ahead in the supply count here, but Mass not too far behind, and he has got a very scary army. Here come the infestors. This is just the exact counter I think that we needed to see from Mass. So Mass may be able to mount a very effective defense here. It will come down to the micro of Oneshot, but this is going to be a tough position for him if he gets some good fungal growths down. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So I don't know. This is a tense moment right here. Yeah, Oneshot moving in very slowly with this. I don't blame him there. He has got to be super careful, because if he gets too aggressive here, Mass is going to obliterate him with that force. Oh, here come the infestors. Oh, backing up. Not the right time.
And we can see the Marines keep coming.
Yep.
2 more barracks going down.
Bunkers going down here in a forward position. Oneshot just over and over, he commits to these attacks and does a tremendous job keeping the pressure on his opponent. But I love what Mass is doing behind this. He's taking the gold expansion. I love it. And I mean, how can Oneshot really deal with that, you know? At this point, he's pushed out too far. It's going to take him a while just to back out safely if he chooses to back out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at this point though, I think if Oneshot were to actually make a push, I think he would have it.
You think so? I mean, that's a lot of Banelings though.
It's a lot of Banelings, but as long as he can stim and run them away, the tanks will take care of the pursuing Banelings.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Like you said, it comes down to micro, but I think if anybody has that kind of micro, Oneshot has proven he can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, he really has. Time and again, he's just done extremely well microing Marines around, especially with the stim. Pretty nice stuff. Taking out these destructible debris here to get the back door to the expand here for Mass. That is not going to make Mass happy, I can tell you that right now. Oof.
There's no way he's going to be able to Maynard any drones down to his new base. He's going to have to just make them from scratch down at the gold.
Yep. Stimming in here. Queen is definitely going to be going down. Looks like the Evo chamber going to go down here very quickly. Not enough mutas here to do much damage. But Mass, he is staying very calm, very cool, very collected. He knows that this is not the right time to push out with his whole entire army. So I do like his play here. He's taking his time making his decision. Here he comes right now. Here comes the big push out from Mass. Is he going to be able to hold on here? But this is so much defense here from Oneshot. Mass's army just getting obliterated. Oh my goodness, those tanks did way too much damage. Denial, take him from here, buddy. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this.
I'm speechless. This is awesome. That's all I can say. I think that was an awesome holdout. I think the fact that he had his Marines spread so well was a big reason why that didn't work.
Yeah, I agree. And now he is up 2-0 against Mass. The pressure is now severely on Mass. He has got to do something in this next game, make something happen, or it will be it for him in this tournament. But the nice thing is for him, he will be leaving with money regardless. He's already placed, so phenomenal stuff. Last words, buddy?
Why alt tab?
When you can alt StarCraft. We'll see you guys next time.
What is he?
Oneshot?
Yeah.
As a high-level master, top 8 usually.
Oh, okay.
But welcome back, everybody. We are going into Game 3 in this best of 5 on MLG's Tal'Darim Altar between Oneshot and Mass. Oneshot up 2-0 right now against Mass, so Mass in a little bit of a pickle here. But before we get too much into that stuff, I do want to introduce my co-caster and great friend with me tonight. We do have Alt Denial on the line with us. Denial, what is going on, brother?
I am just waiting to see what happens in this game. I'm wanting to see if Oneshot pulls off a hat trick and ends it.
Yeah. He's a pretty good player, man. I mean, we've got to hand it to this guy. He's pulling off a lot of stuff here so far. But it's been really nice stuff. I not that I have anything against Oneshot, obviously, but I would like to see Mass take a win or maybe even 2 here and take us to game at least 4 or 5. Don't you think that would be fun?
I think that would be fun to watch, absolutely. But now I just can't help but be interested because I don't think I've watched a best of 5 where somebody's won 3 straight right off the bat. Yeah. At least not with your tournaments.
Yeah, well, do you remember the last month's tournament?
I don't. I honestly didn't get to watch too many of those last.
Yeah, I think you were gone at the end of the tournament. But Microstar versus Enzymes, you remember those names?
Yep.
So Enzymes went 3 in a row. It was best of 7, right? Because it's the finals.
Mm-hmm.
He went 3 in a row, and then Microstar went 4 in a row, a 4-game rush to win.
That must have been incredible.
Enzymes at the end was just like, blah, I cannot believe this. He's like, I couldn't take 1 out of those 4 games, not even 1. You know, and it was just amazing, and it was an upset too, because Enzymes is a master level player. Microstar was a high level diamond player at the time. I don't know what he is in the season. I have to actually check, but I mean, it was very, very interesting stuff. So, I mean, it's happened before where people go on a rush and just take it down. Mass, he strikes me as that type of player too. I love his attitude. I was saying that before. How he gets into the game, he says, "All right, let's go. I'm ready to go." He's always ready to play. We've seen him play some fun games for us in the past while we were between matches in the tournament, and he's a phenomenal player as well as just a really, really nice guy. So I mean, this is a phenomenal matchup. But
it is.
What do you want to see from him? I mean, you're the Zerg player here, so I mean, tell me what. Refinements on his strategy versus Oneshot. You've got to be looking for chinks in that armor at this point. And I mean, how can he possibly take a win down here? What does he need to do?
Honestly, from what I saw, especially in that last game, I can't fault him for any of the decisions he's making. I think it all has to do with the army placement, and I hate. Well, I don't hate to say it because I like Oneshot, but his placement when he came through those destructible rocks was just nearly perfect. He was in the right spots. His Marines were spread out just enough to keep all of them from dying, and his tank survived it, so he just kept pushing.
Yep, just beautiful play. I like how methodical he is, and I probably overused that word, especially lately, because in this tournament we have a lot of players that really fall into that category. They make slow, even decisions. They don't take risks, and they just make it happen in a very, very safe way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's really pretty neat to see. But Oneshot going for some shenanigans here, it looks like, man.
What's he doing?
Double factory. So I'm guessing Blue Flame Hellions here right off the bat. Unless he's going tanks. Nope, it's going to be Blue Flame Hellions. Yep. We're going to see Blue Flame Hellions here in just a moment. How much gas does he need? 150? He's almost there. So here at 150 gas, I'm imagining here that Oneshot, yep, immediately starting his Infernal Pre-Igniter.
That's the nice thing about Hellions. You spend the money on gas for Blue Flame, and they're just minerals after that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 100 minerals. Hellions are a super cheap unit to produce, really, and they produce fairly quickly. What's their build time? I can't remember.
I'll look at it right now. 30 seconds.
30 seconds, yep. Yeah, so pretty solid stuff, but this roach push from Mass is looking to be pretty solid timing. Oneshot is going to have some serious trouble with this because he's just going so heavy into these Hellions.
And he's got Banelings behind him.
Yep. This is a nice timing push here from Mass. And he's going to be catching Oneshot off guard here. I think this is already game, to be honest.
I think
I think this is game. The economy just disappeared for Oneshot. He is cruising out across the map with everything that he's got. Looks like he is going to go for a base trade situation. He's going to be moving his command center, both of them, which one of them is an orbital command, so he is going to be rebuilding here. This is interesting play from Oneshot. It looks like he is definitely going to try and take this game from the standpoint of, can I rebuild a base fast enough to get myself back in? Do you think this is possible? I mean, there's a lot of spine crawlers about to go down here.
Well, at the moment, if he can take out a lot of drones in this attack, yes, I think it's very possible.
He's taking out a lot of drones right now.
Both of them have non-existent income at the moment.
Yeah, this is one of those strange positions. Watch the income tab, a 0, but the harvester count is the note here. We have got 12 harvesters for Oneshot and only 8 right now for Mass. And the interesting thing is that Oneshot also has the ability to summon those mules. So that can be, I mean, this is why Terran is considered the comeback race, is they can move their whole entire army, or I mean buildings, essentially to a whole nother location when the attack is just too much for them to handle.
And the funny thing is, they're going against the race that is by no means a catch-up race.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
you fall behind with Zerg, you're pretty much done.
Yep. So a harvester count showing that Mass is trying desperately to make that happen. He is doing a great job searching around here to try and find where his opponent is expanding. He is going to be scouting this. However, Oneshot did a very smart thing and built this command center over on the other side of the map. So this one is not going to be scouted here for quite a while. This was a brilliant move. So if Oneshot's going to have a chance in this matchup, that is definitely going to be the reason. And he is right back to mining now with mules, so this is pretty decent stuff. Looks like this Baneling going to try and take care of him. One Roach will be able to clean those guys up. But these SCVs going to be going back to mining here on the other side of the map. This is phenomenal play by Oneshot. He didn't lose his head. He didn't just GG, whatever. He says, no, this is a tournament match. I'm going to try and make it happen. So I really like what he's doing here.
They're about even with harvesters.
I know, it's crazy train, isn't it?
The one thing that if Mass finds him right now, it's going to be a little hard for Oneshot to defend.
Right. That's correct. And he is searching in that proximity, so this is going to be tough for Oneshot. That was a brilliant play there by Mass. We've got to hand it to him to go that early Roach push and put those Hellions at a disadvantage. Those Hellions just do they do so little damage. It is ridiculous. So, I mean, I'd say very, very well done here at this point by by Mass as well.
All these SCVs have such low health, they're dying in one shot.
Mm-hmm. Trying to take out that Roach. Oneshot's Harvester's down to 6, and that is game. Didn't even GG there, so kind of interesting. Usually he's a lot more well-mannered, but that's okay. I mean, we're going to be heading into game number 4 now, so that's nice. Congratulations to Mass staying in this matchup. Love to see that. Last words, buddy?
Same thing as always.
Don't alt tab. Always alt StarCraft. We will see you guys next time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Xel'Naga Caverns. Super, super excited here for game number 4 in this best of 5. It is now 2-1 between Oneshot and Mass. The pressure's still on Mass. He cannot lose any of these matches, or it is it. And he needs to take down 2 wins here in a row to continue his 3-game rush, or make a 3-game rush total. Excuse me, to take down this matchup. So the pressure's still on him at this point. However, before we get into the game, I'd love to introduce my great friend and resident Alt Team Pro, we have Alt Denial on the phone. Buddy, what is going on?
Not too much. Just waiting to see if Zerg makes a comeback now.
Well, I mean, I was telling you before, it is not uncommon in our tournaments to see people go on a rush and just take out the win in the clutch, just like that. So, I mean, totally possible. And if anybody's got the skills to do it, Mass will definitely be one of them. A phenomenal player in Mass, I think. Don't you agree?
I do.
So really, really exciting stuff. Now, Oneshot, I mean, he is a great player as well, don't get me wrong. We love that guy. He has been around our tournament scene for quite a while and has been tons and tons of fun to have around. Has given us some phenomenal replays to put up on YouTube and to put on the live stream for everybody's entertainment, and we have more than appreciated that. And he's taken down some pretty decent cash winnings in the tournaments as well, so not bad, man.
I think he really wants that money too, because he's working hard at it.
Yeah, he really is working hard. And, it's interesting you say that. I did want to mention, something about Alt StarCraft and what we're trying to, to accomplish here is to help players who want to get into the tournament scenes like MLG and stuff like that to know what it takes to get there, especially when they're still at, say, a low level, like silver or bronze or gold or something like that, where they can have a community around them to help build them up instead of telling them how bad and terrible of a player and what kind of stupid mistakes that they make. Because when it comes down to it, to be good at this game, it takes a lot of hard work and not necessarily tons and tons of talent. You know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, the talent's always nice, but if you can learn how to put in the work, the correct amount of work, and understand a couple different things as far as build orders and things like that, everybody has got a great opportunity to make waves in some tournaments and do some pretty neat things. I mean, we've seen lots and lots of different players hanging out with Alt StarCraft take that kind of advice to the next level and just perform marvelously against people who are 2, sometimes even 3 and 4 leagues above them, and even take out wins in those scenarios. So pretty neat stuff.
It's all about. It turns out to be all about who you know and who can help you.
Yeah.
As long as you can learn, then you got what it takes.
I totally agree there. And the nice thing is we are getting Team Alt up and running here pretty shortly. I know you are working extremely hard on that. Isn't that right, Denial?
Yes, sir.
And so you guys out there looking for things coming from Alt StarCraft in the way of training and with a pro team, you will want to be looking for what Alt Denial has got in store for us. He is going to be one of the initial founders of that team, so going to be very, very exciting stuff.
Got a few good players in the works too to join us.
Yeah.
Got some grandmaster level players who are interested in helping us out doing the same thing, and it's going to be fun to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm super excited for that, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that have been hanging out with Alt StarCraft and our tournaments. They're just dying to get into that as well. So thank you for that, Alt Denial. That is going to be amazing stuff here fairly soon. But let's take a look here at the build orders. I mean, we're getting into the thick of things here. So fast expand for Mass we saw. Is this what you like to see from Mass at this point?
I honestly, whenever a Zerg player isn't afraid to do a fast expand, I absolutely love it. Because, especially against Terran players who tend to wall themselves in, it puts you at a good economic advantage to them.
Gotcha. Excuse me. But yeah, and it looks like Oneshot going to be trying for the build that failed in that last game with his Hellions here. Double factories, blue flame Hellions. Yet again. I mean, this is kind of interesting play. However, he's making a slight switch here. He's got a lot of Marines here for defense. But here comes the attack from Mass right now. And walking straight into the base, so mismanagement there, it looks like.
I think the one difference about this map compared to the last one is, I'll just show you. The many routes that he has to bring those Hellions in.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a lot easier time getting behind the mineral line and taking out those drones. So I think this plan is actually a little bit more viable in this map than it was on the last one.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at this. Does this look like an all-in to you, man?
This looks like an extreme all-in.
I mean, it's not completely all-in. But he is definitely going to be putting down some bunkers, it looks like. in a forward position here, and he is going to be sticking to a very, very early attack. This is unbelievable play, and he still hasn't even gone for his blue flame upgrade yet. I'm really interested to see how this is going to pan out.
I like that he has Marauders this time instead of Marines in the mix up front.
Yeah, trying to counter those roaches. I think this is a great play. I'm thinking Oneshot going to make this attack stick. If he can move in here soon enough, he's going to be in pretty decent shape.
Keep in mind, even though he did lose the last match, he's still sitting in the lead, so he can relax a little bit. So trying this isn't going to affect him too much unless it fails. Then in the next match, he's got the pressure on again.
Right. Now, honestly, I wouldn't mind that. I love Game 5s in a best of 5. I love it when the pressure's on both players. Don't you like that?
And yeah, when no player quits.
Mm-hmm. And these guys are really battling it out. I mean, the difference here is $50 minimum difference. So if the loser here will take home $25, but the winner will be competing for either $75 or $125 there. So I mean, there's some disparity. They want to make it to that next round. The finals is where the real money is at in this tournament. So I mean, these guys are really fighting it out for this. Oh, these Marauders in great position. Oh man, those Banelings not doing quite enough damage. I'd say Oneshot in pretty decent shape here. Oh no, these are a lot of roaches here. Oh, never mind. He's going down here. This is going to be cleaned up, it looks like, by Mass. Oh yeah. Cleaned up, held off. So well done there by Mass. And Units tab is going to show that Mass has indeed got a significant advantage now economically. So I mean, he did a good job in defense there.
Although I do have to say that was a good combination of units by Oneshot. You have the Marauders who can take the damage from the roaches, and then you have the Hellions sitting behind the Marauders taking out the Lings that come to kill them.
Yep.
I mean, that was a pretty good matchup there.
Yeah, that was a nice battle too. Why does he not block off his ramp?
Honestly, I think he forgot that it was open. If I had to guess.
Yeah. So a little bit of missed micro there, I would say, but he's now in a lot of trouble.
Yep, and that's 2-2.
Yep, GG. So we are going into Game 5. I am super excited for that. Mass versus Oneshot, just a phenomenal matchup here. But thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be headed into Game 2 here in just a moment. Don't alt-tab, always alt-StarCraft. We will see you guys then. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We have got live tournament action coming at you right now on MLG's Shattered Temple Game 5. I am very, very excited to be bringing this matchup to everybody. Mass versus Oneshot in their best of 5. It is 2-2. My goodness, these guys are doing just a phenomenal job, and I do have Alt Denial here casting with me. We are having tons of fun, aren't we, man?
The best.
I mean, this is a phenomenal matchup. I haven't had this much fun since Microstar and Enzymes.
Yeah, you had the first 2 games with Oneshot. His placement, his builds, just the way he attacked was nearly perfect. And then you had the next 2 games, the third game, Mass taking it by rushing out roaches and Banelings a lot sooner than Oneshot expected him. And then the last game, simply by holding off Oneshot and then countering.
Yeah.
So now we got this next game. I want to see how they both play.
Yep. Now I'm expecting Oneshot to not do his double factory in this one. It's failed twice against Mass. So, I mean, I think that he may abandon that strategy. What do you think?
I think he's going to abandon it for the simple reason that they spawn cross positions. They're not close flying distance. They're not close running distance. So I think we're going to see a macro game out of this one.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's good summation there. So pretty well done by both players, though, so far. Looks like standard timings for everything so far. Are we going to see a fast expand? It appears that we are.
I think he would be a fool not to.
So Oneshot does know where his opponent is now, so he's going to be cruising over there. He will definitely see the fast expand. I assume he'll go over and scout that. Can he see that from walking up the ramp? No, he can't. So he'll have to actually walk over there just a little bit. But, yeah, not bad. There goes the spawning pool for Mass. Barracks for Oneshot about to complete. And we can see Oneshot does notice the fast expand here. Interested to see what he's going to do. Is he going to try and punish his opponent for this? I wonder.
Even on the map like this with such a long distance between them, it's kind of hard to punish them.
Yeah.
Zerg for a fast expand there.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Gas going down for Mass now. This SEV getting chased off. Seven Flow online. Good stuff.
He's technically late.
I know. Well, he's already lost 2 games.
Oh, is this a continuation?
Well, I didn't want to completely disqualify him in the semis, so...
We see a command center going down for one shot. He's looking to expand already. I think he's going to try to keep up with the Zerg player, with Mass.
Yeah. Roach Warren going down here pretty quick for Mass. So, what do you think do you think he's expecting the Hellions again here because of this Roach Warren?
One thing that I learned, and most Zerg players, and I'm sure especially the Master Zerg players know, is that it's never a bad idea to throw down the Roach Warren.
Right. You
may not necessarily use it, but the fact that it's there can, one, be good for when you need to defend against something like a Hellion Harass, or two, your opponent goes in, scouts it, and thinks you're doing something that you're actually not. I mean, you waste more than that just on 2 overlords getting shot out of the sky while you scout. So I mean, 150 minerals isn't that much to pay to put down a Roach Warren.
Yep.
And it seems it's going to benefit him because he did go for 4 Hellions.
Right. Yep, 4 Hellions. These guys are not going to be doing tons of damage against Roaches. That is for sure. Roach is now out of position. I like what Oneshot's doing here. He is... Oh, is he backing up? Oh, man, I think I would have rather have seen him go across the map and try and do some economic damage. Oh, my goodness, that Marine just getting taken down immediately. But he does have the bunker up now, so he should be in pretty decent shape. Looks like Mass is going to have to back out here, but the Hellions are now ahead of them. So it looks like he's going to be cruising out across the map here and going to do some economic damage. However, we have a wall in from Mass. How do you like that, man?
I did not expect to see that.
Of course, they will be able to get through because they can roll over that supply depot, but...
Actually, it looks like they can go between the evolution chamber and the
Yeah,
spine.
You're right. Yeah, they can. I didn't notice that. It looked like it might have been tight, but however, it was not. Wow, those Hellions not doing very much damage.
This may be one of those situations where Oneshot is just getting nervous now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the nerves can play a factor in these games. And the nice thing, I mean, we can see from Mass in his chat between games that he's confident. He's really saying that I'm not going to lose at this point. I'm going to go for it. And so, I mean, you can see a lot of confidence there from him. Oneshot may be playing just a little bit tentatively here, and it may not be working in his favor. So, I mean, could be interesting to see, but it looks like he is going to be transitioning here. We do have the starport on the way. Tech Lab now on the factory. We got tanks coming out, so this is definitely a realm that he's a little bit more comfortable in, I think. We've seen his tank Marine play is just phenomenal, so it looks like he is going to be switching over to that here in just a moment. These roaches that are cruising out across the map are going to be very, very unhappy when they see the barrels of these siege tanks.
I would actually like to see siege mode go up.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed about Oneshot? In almost all of his games where he goes siege tech, he gets it late. Very late. Like, it's almost like, wait a second, did he do that on purpose? But I think that he does. I think he purposely gets it late. And I'm not entirely sure why, to be honest, but it just seems to be kind of the thing that he does. So it's been interesting to kind of watch that from him. What?
And well, the one thing I learned with as playing Zerg is roaches are still very susceptible to the splash damage of a tank.
Right.
So if you have them in siege mode, the fact that Zerg in general is always going to come at you as a swarm, you're never going to have them spread out.
Right.
They are still very effective against incoming roaches.
Right. Yeah, that's true stuff. The good stuff. Boy, he's being very active with these Hellions. That's what I like to see. But Mass being very active with his roaches as well, so kind of interesting stuff. What's that Marine doing? That was kind of strange.
He was sending it to the Zelnaga tower.
Yeah. And see, look at that. I mean, he's still pumping out tanks and still no siege tech. So
Might have to do with how much gas he has. He's just buying what he can afford.
Yep, there goes siege tech. Oh! Going for an expand here for Mass, and looks like Oneshot gearing up to do the exact same thing. But yeah, nice play here. It looks like by Oneshot he is way ahead in the supply count and moving out across the map right now. So he is gonna, looks like, gonna be sticking to this attack off 2 base.
Actually, this might be able to pull it off too.
He may be able to. We've seen how effective his forward positioning can be with these tanks and Marines. Just phenomenal micro that he has with these Marines, and Mass kind of in this sticky predicament where he's got Banelings, yes, he's just barely getting some infestors out on the map.
And here's what I like to see from Oneshot: the way he spaces out his tanks.
Yeah.
He doesn't just send them all as one group and then get them all together. He spaces them out. You can get the Marines between them. It's just a very nice setup.
Yep. Pretty nice, and here comes the attack. We see how methodical he is yet again. He moves in very slowly, tries not to take a huge risk. Going to be gaining sight of the high ground, which is going to be very smart. He's going to want to keep an eye out for the infestors. The infestors are going to be the deciding factor here, I believe. I mean, if Mass can get some good fungal growths down, then he could be in pretty good shape. Here comes the main attack from Mass. He is not going to be waiting any longer. Is this going to be able to stick here? Uh-oh. There are still a lot of tanks on the field. Mass going to be in a lot of trouble. And plenty of Marines, too, when it comes down to it. Oh, my goodness. I think this might be game. What are you thinking, Denial?
I unfortunately have to agree with you. He's taking out the natural. Those drones are automatically gonna go up towards the main.
Unbelievable stuff. Those forward pushes, those pushes that he does, unbelievable stuff. And there's the good game, well played from Mass. So thank you to Mass. What a phenomenal guy that is. We love his manners. We love his play style, and just what a nice guy he's been to have in this tournament so far. Thank you to Oneshot, and congratulations, buddy. You will be moving on to the finals today. Awesome stuff. Denial, what would you like to say to everybody before we head on out of here and go to our other semifinal match?
Somebody out there loves you.
That is the absolute truth. I can tell you who it is. It is Alt StarCraft. So remember, don't Alt Tab, always Alt StarCraft. We will see you guys next time.